Hello everyone, my name is Brian. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and continue.
And notice something interesting. That luminosity, that light which illumines the darkness of the blankness, that is still there now. It is that light which illumines the mind, and through the mind the body. It is that light which experiences the world through the senses. You are, I am, always that light, and that light alone. With a layer of the mind, that light now illumines thoughts. With a layer of the senses, now that light illumines seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. With the layer of the body, that light now has the capacity to do action in the world and move around and interact. But always, I am that light. And as that light, that luminosity, that 10th man, that pure subject away from all the 5 objective sheets of the personality, that entirely problem-free existence, that I am all the time, Tattvamasi. That one is beyond stress. If there is stress in the body-mind, that's the one which illumines the stress in the body-mind. But it does not have stress by itself. It cannot. That one does not need peace, attainment of peace. No, it is peace itself. Mandukya calls it Shantam. Not Shanti Purna, not Shanta. Shantam means it is peace itself. And when the knowledge of I am that comes to the mind becomes peaceful. Mind gets Shanti. It's a peace which cannot be lost. It's always there. It just has to be recognized. This light, this luminosity which we are, is always available. You may not think about it, but it's always there if you note. And anytime you want, it's available to us. If there's a problem, if anxiety comes in the mind, for example, then anxiety is there, it was not there, it has come, appearing to that one light. I am that light, not the anxiety in the mind. You'll find the anxiety also slowly fades away. I'm always that light. This is Atma Jnana. From this perspective, I'll just add one more point. Then we start acting in the world. It's not that you step away from the world, that I am this light and that's it, it's all finished. No, the world is there. Body and mind are appearing as this witness consciousness. When I engage now with the body mind and through the body mind into the world, I engage from a position of security, a position of peace, a position of completeness. Then my engagement with the world will have a qualitative difference. I will engage not as an anxious person. Who's that writer who said, most men live lives of quiet desperation. No more quiet desperation. And relaxed. Swami Vivekananda met the great agnostic, who's that person? Robert Ingersoll in America. In fact, if you Google, recently a book was published from Yale University about his life, Robert Ingersoll's life. It's called The Great Agnostic. So Ingersoll told Swami Vivekananda, I don't need your spirituality, religion. I believe in this life only. And I believe in squeezing the orange of this life dry to the last drop. Swami Vivekananda said, I believe that too. And then he says, but I differ in my choice of fruit. I prefer a mango. I know that I cannot die. Therefore, I am not in a hurry. I have no fear or no anxiety. Therefore, I enjoy the squeezing of the fruit. Squeeze the fruit in this way and gain 10,000-fold more. Get every last drop. This is the way to lead life.
Interesting. Again, Swami Vivekananda says, yeah, I agree. I believe in that too, that this is real. This life is real. It's so weird, though. How do you reconcile that? I think Advaita Vedanta, I believe, it's been a little bit, believes that this life, this reality is false, it's Maya. But yet Swami Vivekananda talks about this life as being real, and I believe also Sri Ramakrishna. I mean, hopefully me breathing doesn't sorry if it did. The way I've looked at it is if this is all Brahman, right? If this is all Brahman, then that means there's no false. This is not false. This is really real. But I know Swami Sarvabharananda here talks about how these are all forms and function. Well, I say forms and functions. He says this is all forms. Like how he talks about the gold necklace, the gold rings, the gold amulet, you know. All these are forms, but the underlying reality is gold. So, even if these are all forms, the underlying reality of all these things, of this pen and me are the same. But the pen's form itself is real. I am real. But yet, unless I'm confusing it somehow still, is that how do we say that this body is Maya, but yet real with Brahman? This is something that I've asked throughout, and I guess I haven't quite had the answer that kind of solidified the puzzle for me. But nonetheless, I like to, like I said before, I like to believe there is obviously an underlying reality of what we're all made out of. We're all made out of the same things. Something that Neil deGrasse Tyson has said, that we're all made out of stardust. And you could, and it's not saying that we're made out of very specifically these type of stardust. It's just the fact that we all came from this universe, so we're all part of this universe. We're all made out of the same thing from this universe. We're not different from the universe. In a lot of sense, that's a lot like Advaita Vedanta. But, and that, let me say, that's what I like to believe, is the fact that this is reality, and there is an underlying, what we're made out of, we're all the same, is, I can agree upon that as well. But also to say that this reality is also real. Swami Vivekananda says, at least from here and another video that Swami Sarvabharananda has said, and also in another video, I believe Swami Sarvabharananda said that Swami Sri Ramakrishna says that this reality is real as well. But yet somehow Advaita Vedanta pushes that this is Maya, it's an illusion. It can't be an illusion and real at the same time, can it? Anyways, my choosing the way to believe this is, sure, there's an underlying reality of what we're made out of, what we are, and then, but that doesn't change the fact that this is all still real as well. It's just, obviously, we don't realize that we're all, in a sense, one, because we see ourselves as individuals. Hopefully that makes sense.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj, for your deep insights into such a relevant topic, and also sharing the Advaitic insights on the same topic. So we can begin our question and answer session. For some time, we are already past time. So I would request the audience to restrict themselves to the topic of the talk and be crisp as well as clear while asking the questions. And please raise your hands if you have any questions. Our volunteers will come to your seat and offer your mic, through which you can ask them questions.
So we'll go from two sides of the hall, this middle and this side, and then right back again.
Pranam Swamiji.
Namaste. Tell us your name and ask the question.
Yashodhara. My question is about, in this turning inward and self-realization, what is the role of a mystical experience? This whole thing about the vision of oneness, which I've never had. I don't know if I'll ever have it. Is it a necessity on the path to self-realization?
I think so. I think so. Self-realization. I do believe that is something that you have to take. I'm just guessing here.
That's a difficult question. Notice the way I just spoke about it. It does not talk about any particular mystical experience. It's a procedure. If we follow it, we'll come upon it. Now, even this, I can tell you this much. That breakthrough, when it comes, when we realize we are the non-objective pure subject. it's a clear demarcation. Suddenly dawns upon us, oh, this is what I am. I always was this. I never saw it earlier. There is a clear jump. Just as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, if you had got 10 there, it would have been normal. But if you go from 9 to 10 here, it's a clear jump. It's a discontinuity. Somebody was telling me that, do you understand the concept of singularity in mathematics? It's a singularity. There is something there. Now, if you want to call that a mystic experience, you can call it a mystic experience, because it is so tremendous, it is so unforgettable, and after that it is so effortlessly present always, that you can call it a mystic experience. And of course, mystic experiences are of various types. This is one path I'm talking about. It's an Advaitic inquiry. This is, in Upanishads, one word is used, Shruti Shira or Shruti Shikhara. This is the peak of the mountain. This is the highest and the final. But then beautiful valleys and flowers and gardens. So there are many kinds of mystical experiences. True, genuine mystical experiences are there, and they are very helpful in spiritual life. That's all I can say.
Thank you.
So somebody from the middle, and then we will.
I was thinking along the lines that I think to come to self-realization, you do have to look inwards and look through that, and you have to go through that void blackness. Now, this is something I've asked Swami Tadamadanda. I don't think he's made a video on it yet. Does one need... Never mind. I will not say that question. But it's not. But only because I want him to answer it, and I want you guys to see what my question was towards him. I don't know if it's a good question or not. I'm hoping it is. But anyways, I'll say it a different way. The path that she's talking about is for... It's not the only way to be twin suffering. But it is... I do believe it is a path that you have to take to be enlightened, I believe, because you do... I think to be enlightened, you have to dig inside of you, or look inwards. I think that's the only way. There's no external way to become enlightened. You must, no matter, external is always books and learning, but never, and all those books and learning always tells you to look inside, I believe. Now, bhakti, of course, is a bit different. It is very much external in duality. But anyways, I think for mysticism, I didn't really think about that one, but more along the lines of looking inside, I do believe so.
Yeah. Then we'll go to this side.
Hello, Swami.
Tell us your name.
My name is Sachin. So the question is, if no mind delivers, or stopping thinking or thoughts delivers bliss, is there a benefit, or what is the benefit of associating, or associating with the infinite bliss, or the way you put it, the one consciousness or one reality, right? So what is that additional benefit, or how does it manifest? That was one question that I had. And
we have to sorry to interrupt you, but we have to understand that question. I did not totally understand it. You said if no mind delivers bliss, what does that mean?
It sounded like you're saying, what's the point of having eternal bliss? Is there any benefit to it? What? That's what it sounded like. Hopefully he corrects himself. It's like, well, bliss, not suffering. That's the benefit.
So if I stop thinking,
yes.
If I don't get any thoughts at all, there is no fear, no anxiety, because it is all just thoughts at the end of the day.
Yes.
So stopping of that is really just bliss, right? It's your normal state.
So let me just deal with that. It's a subtle question, but an important thing to clarify here. That's something that you get in deep sleep. You don't need Advaita Vedanta for that. We get it, and naturally every day, hopefully, all of us get deep sleep. And you're right, it's a peaceful state. It's a trouble-free state, especially for people who are deeply troubled. Deep sleep is highly recommended. That's why sedatives are given. That's why also people get drunk, people want drugs, They want to suppress thinking. Somebody said it very poignantly. In America, suicide. Thank God, at least that problem has not yet come here. First they will shoot some people and then kill themselves. So, he said, have you noticed why people shoot themselves in the head? Whatever the reason is. One reason is, this is so, it's like a torture. This thinking and anxious thinking, bad thinking, and people want to blow it out, stop it. So that's why deep sleep, drug addiction, this alcohol dependency, all of that is basically trying to suppress thinking. This is a very important point. Advaita is not that. Why we did it is what listening to and keeping in mind. Advaita is not stopping thinking. Why we did all this is to see yourself as Atman, separate from illumining the thinking mind. However, the last part which we did, we noticed that even when I am opening my eyes and engaging with the world and thoughts are coming into the mind, I am still that light. It's because of me that the thought is experienced. It is because of me that feelings are experienced. It is because of me the light that I can see, hear, smell, taste, touch. One sadhu put it this way, I'll tell you in Hindi, very powerful statement. Advait pratiti ko mitana nahi chahta hai. Advait aapko vyavahar mein nirbad banata hai. Advaita, non-duality, does not want to erase the world experience. Deep sleep is enough for that. Advaita does not want to erase the world experience. Advaita makes you, nirvad is very difficult to translate, makes you limitless, fearless, completely free in worldly experience. In the middle of worldly experience also. See, one thing I did not complete. This particular light which we discover is actually the one light in all beings, and not only that, all beings are appearances in that one light. So there's nothing here which is a barrier to that light, to that consciousness. Barrier means other than. Everything is an appearance of that consciousness. So you are nirbada in vyavahara, in transaction, in dealing with people. There's no second reality apart from that one consciousness which you are. So that gives you a tremendous freedom from anxiety and fear in this life. Like Vivekananda said, I am in no hurry. I have no fear or anxiety. I enjoy every moment of this existence. Yeah. Second question.
Interesting. Now he's... I don't know why, I guess maybe whenever I've always understood it, it almost makes it seem like Brahman and Maya are two different things. Although I know in the comments in the past videos they've said that Maya is a mere illusion in Brahman. That's the thing that I've said even when I first started, is that Maya doesn't really exist, and some people have said yes, Maya doesn't really exist because there's only Brahman. And so, and even more so is that the illusion itself, if it is Brahman, therefore it's real, because there's nothing. Brahman is real. Nothing exists outside of Brahman. Therefore, everything in Brahman is real. Even illusions are real, because illusions are Brahman. Hopefully, I'm not being too confusing here. I'm still like. I've watched a lot of videos and I'm trying to piece things together, and sometimes it kind of goes back and forth between how things are defined or how things are understood, and to say that this reality is an illusion, I guess perhaps it's the understanding or the definition of what illusion is, not real, it's fake. To say that this reality is fake, but to say that this reality is Brahman, which is real, it's like, wait, is it fake or is it real? So, but I guess, and that's the difficult thing to perhaps grasp and understand. And a way to explain it, that to say that this reality is real but also false. But it's just much easier, I suppose, just to say that this reality is real. And to say that underlining this reality, we're all the same. That, to me, is, at least in my opinion, let me know if it's contradictory or if it's confusing, to say that underlying this reality, we're all the same. but this reality nonetheless is real. That is not confusing at all, and to me anyway. Let me know, is it confusing to you or not, the way I said it? This reality is real, but underlining this reality we're all the same, just to say it that way. Or does saying Brahman is the only reality, and this reality is Maya, this reality is an illusion, but this illusion is also real because this illusion is Brahman. I know there's going to be some explanations about like the illusions on the roads, perhaps with the heat, like a mirage. But the problem with the mirage example is the fact that there are still things that needs to exist to create the illusion. Heat, a surface, I think, and maybe moisture. Because I think if it's super dry, I don't think a mirage would exist. I'm not sure. Or is that heat waves that's causing the... Anyways, the problem with the mirage is that so many things need to occur for it to be real. The best thing, I guess, is kind of like the dream has been the perfect one example. But anyways, that is super confusing. But like I said, the best way for me so far that seems to make a lot of sense of underlining this reality, we're all the same, but this reality is real.
Swami, so just a follow-up, is the identification with that luminosity that you're talking about, is that required, or forget suppressing, but if with the clarity that the thought of fear or whatever, right, so that is the actual root cause and hence it dissolves.
Yes, correct.
And if you are at that, do you need the identification further on, and what is the benefit and what is the manifestation? So
right. So if you stop the thought, then the fear, anxiety, they all dissolve. But they don't dissolve. They go back into a seed state. The moment thought starts again, what happens to drunkards? They end up in, in America there's Alcoholic Anonymous, AA. And they end up in, it's a big problem that there are all these detoxification centers all over. Alcohol dependency, drug dependency. Does it permanently solve the problem of anxiety, fear, unhappiness? No. It will come back, and it will come back worse. We have reduced drugs and all these things reduce us to a tamasic state. So that will not solve. Suppose deep sleep is the solution, then let's sleep forever. That is highest spirituality. No, it will not solve. It's like a seed, remaining in a seed state, it will sprout again. Whereas Advaitic realization solves it once forever. Once I realize I am that luminosity, or ever problem free, and then in the midst of the thinking mind and working senses, in the midst of the world, I am also problem free completely. Because there is nothing here which is other than me. That same consciousness is now appearing as its own objects.
Yeah, thanks, Swami. Last one, realization seems to be a function of time and effort, like by tradition, but the way you put it today, it more seems to be a function of just clarity, which is observation and yeah. So just trying to reconcile when you say in other talks around Shravana, Manana, Didhyasana, is it misleading?
No. If you are one of those lucky few, by this talk right now you have become illumined, congratulations, we'll give you an award. But I don't think there are many of those. The reason is all the other effort that will not lead to enlightenment from an Advaitic perspective, only this teaching which I spoke about now, only that leads to enlightenment. That Advaitic teaching of you are that. Put in different ways in different texts. I tried one today which is called Panchakosha Viveka, using the Vidyaranya's story. It's from one chapter in Panchadashi, what I tried today, entirely based on that. This foundation, these teachings will take root immediately. Without this foundation, if the foundation is weak, then these teachings will remain, as I learned some very nice philosophy, a really cool philosophy today, nice lecture. So does it solve the problems of your life? Are you mad? I have more problem. I wasted 1 hour in lecture. Now, my assignment is due, my deadlines are there. No, that will happen. So the foundational practices are necessary, time and effort. They take time and effort, there's no doubt. There's no shortcut around it.
Yeah, thanks, Swami.
Maharaj,
We should go to this. Huh?
Based on this question, I just want to ask one thing.
Yeah.
For a realized person who is deeply rooted in this knowledge,
Yes.
is the mind problem free, or he knows that I am separate from the mind who is problem free?
I am separate from the mind who is problem free. That is true. That is true for all of us. The enlightened person knows and we don't know it. But even know it, the mind has problems. However, if the mind has problems, and even if I'm separate from the problem-free mind, classical Advaita Vedanta says that is not Jivan Mukti. Jivan Mukti means you are the witness consciousness. You realize that's called Tattva Jnana. Then take care of the problems in the mind through sadhana. Clear out the problems in the mind. They should not stay. Why should they stay? If I am pure consciousness, my mind is full of depression. Why? Why should I tolerate that silly mind being full of depression? And Sadhu said, Rota hua jnani kisko pasand hai? So mind of an enlightened person should not have problems. And for that, there are sadhanas which should take care of those problems.
Thank you.
So, Swamiji, one question here.
Yes.
My name is Vignesh Kannan. So, my question is, like, once you have the experience, the subjective experience, that you are separate from all the 5 sheets. So, say you have had that experience in a deep state of meditation, but once you come back here, all that these experiences that come through the senses and the mind, do they dim that experience as you go through the world, or I mean, you have to sustain it in some way? I mean, once you are here, you are not able to hold on to it in some way or something like that. I mean, how to deal with that?
Yeah, these are very good questions. I remember in Haridwar, this exact same question was asked by a young monk to the teacher who was teaching, Ramananda Saraswati. That monk was saying, Lekin aham brahmasmi, I am Brahman, isko to pakad ke rakhna hai. At least that much I have to hold on, because it's slipping away. I have to hold on to that. I have to hold on to this, I am that consciousness. That much I must hold on. And that teacher, very powerfully, he said, wahi to pakad ke nahi rakhna chahiye. You must not hold on to it. You see, the moment I say I am holding on to, I'm still depending on the mind to do something. See, you are Vignesh. But do you depend on the mind? Continuously repeat the mantra, I am Vignesh, 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 Vignesh. No. You don't need it. You're perfectly confident that whenever you want to know, somebody asks what's your name, you're perfectly confident the mind will tell you, I am Vignesh. Similarly, the realization that I am this witness consciousness, you need not hold on to it. However, having said that, there are a whole host of practices which help you to hold on to it, not by in the sense that the mind will keep thinking about it. It's something will continuously point back to it. So what we did just now, this can become a nididhyasana practice. Once you understand, get it, what is being said here, then that does not end the process. We can use this technique again and again to go back to that awareness and stay there for a while. Not always. Now when you come out of that, all these experiences come. You see, hear, smell. More than seeing, hearing, the real problem is the mind. Mind starts thinking and does it dim that experience? I have to be careful answering it. Practically, phenomenologically, when you look at it, yes, it seems to dim that experience. It seems to. The movie, when you play the movie on the screen, does the movie dim the screen? Some will say yes. Some will say, in one sense, it sort of covers the screen. Look, it covers the screen. And yet you know what is a movie and what is a screen. So it is not a problem for you. Even when the screen is covered with lots of pictures, full movie is going on, you are still absolutely clear that it is the screen. You never say that at least part of the screen, leave it empty. I want to keep checking whether the screen is still there or not. Little bit of the screen. No, the screen is covered, as so to say. But your knowledge of the screen is not covered. Your knowledge of the screen and the pictures is not covered, although they are appearing to you together. In Drigdrishya Viveka, it is there. The external world of names and forms and pure being, Sat, they appear together. In the external world, we are unable to distinguish names and forms from pure existence. In the internal world, we are unable to distinguish thoughts, feelings, emotions from pure consciousness. The pure existence, pure consciousness, same thing.
Yeah, I was thinking along those lines, like he said that once you're there, you're always there. But then I guess I couldn't quite understand his question, but it was quite clear once Swami spoke that, do you need help getting back to that spot? And that's the thing I was wondering, like, You know, is it just once it clicks, you're there forever and you never have to worry about going back, or do you lose it? You know, especially once you, like, I'm assuming you meditate to get to that point, and then once you stop meditation, you kind of, everything kind of comes back, and you kind of lose that state of mind, or state of mind, that state of being, I suppose, would be the more appropriate statement there. But apparently, no, you can actually lose it, and and that's what he's talking about a little bit earlier, right before I started this video, is that meditative, that little how do you say, that practice that he did before this video, was to get back to that state, to help you achieve that state again. And that's something I was kind of wondering. It's like, once you hit it, are you just always there, or can you lose it? And it's very interesting to kind of lose it. I don't know, it's kind of fascinating. Like, how can you lose it? But then again, I don't think I've ever been there. If I have, I don't know it. So clearly, if I have, I lost it. But yeah, to experience that and then to lose it. But I'm assuming, I made an assumption that if you, and this is something I was going to say a little bit earlier, but I guess the one thing I need to do is just to try to meditate, in the sense that I sit in a spot, and something that I should have been doing some time ago. I sit in a spot with nothing really going on, close my eyes, and just try to clear my thoughts. That's all. That is all. Nothing else other than that. It's just a start to get to a further progression. If I can consistently sit in a spot, close my eyes, focus on nothing, and to have my thoughts quiet down, and continue to practice that until I can get my thoughts to be completely gone, then I can go further than that. I don't know what's further than that, but again, that's just merely a good practice to help you clear your thoughts, and also a way to perhaps move your practice a bit forward in terms of what's the next thing to do after just at least being able to quiet your mind. And that's something I was thinking about a lot earlier. I forgot what he discussed. I was going to say it, but I just missed the point now. But yeah, and very interesting again, like I said, you know, just amazing that you can actually kind of lose it. I'm wondering how hard it is to keep it, because it's quite clear, or at least it seems it's very clear, that you can lose it, and I wonder how hard it is to maintain that, I suppose, constantly. Do you need to always practice, or is there, I guess there are some people out there, once they've obtained it, there's no way they can lose it. They grasp it and forever will never lose it. And there are people out there who can obtain that awareness and be in that state, but perhaps the mind kind of pulls them back to reality, and then they have to kind of meditate again. Anyways, I'm going to pause right here because there's about 25 more minutes, and I don't know if I'm going to be talking so much or not. So anyways, that's my reaction for at least part 3. The next one's going to be part 4. It's going to be the last one. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.